Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today we're actually doing something a little different. I'm taking a break from Planet Zoo and going back to not really my roots. I guess my roots for Sims would be Sims 2, but I used to do a lot of buildings in Sim 4, but I haven't in a while, so it's gotten away from me a little bit, the process, so I struggled with some of the controls during this, but I think it turned out alright for what it is. My favorite thing to do in The Sims is usually to do remodels of old starter homes. I have a ton of remodels that I had done in the past on my EA profile. I can't remember what the name of it is. I think it's like CopperKittySims or something like that, but there's a ton of just cheap starter homes and remodels and things like that on that particular channel, so I was kind of just following that sort of pattern of doing starter homes. I believe this one is Streamlet Single, although I could be wrong. I didn't really pay attention. It's just a 20 by 15 lot, and I think it's around 20k when it's all said and done. I couldn't remember a lot of the controls, especially when it came to how to build roofs, so that ate up a lot of my time when it came to this particular build. Once I got inside and I was able to focus on the interior, it was a lot easier. Like, I was able to figure out the floor plan and all of that super quick. One of the first things I like to do with houses like this is just shrink them. I understand EA is trying to give you room to grow into it, but I personally just think it's easier to decorate and start in something that's smaller and then expand from there. So I shrunk the house and gave a little bit of a wraparound porch as opposed to the just big empty front porch it had at the beginning. And trying to get the roof to look right, it took me a while to remember that you have to hold shift in order to get sides to go in separately from one another, so I guess that's probably why it took me so long to figure everything out when it came to the roofs, but I think they turned out okay. I might have to go back and just watch some videos of builders, because I know there's a lot of tutorials online, especially regarding the roofs. Everyone in The Sims struggles with the roofs. I miss the days of Sims 2 and having auto roofs. You didn't have to do it all manually by yourself, so that would be nice to have back. But unfortunately, this is what we're working with, and this is what we're dealing with. Moving the lot back, and now we're finally inside. So this was originally I believe it was just a 1-bedroom, but I wanted to make it into a 2-bedroom, because I feel like it's easier to start out, even if you're starting out with just one sim or a couple, you having that extra space for any kids that might be born or anyone else that might end up moving in is really nice. But I had to sacrifice in the way of some decorations in the kitchen, so I used the cheaper appliances and counters, which I'm really glad they have different swatches now, because it used to be horrible using those. They were so ugly. And I ended up having to close my game and come back and film, because apparently I thought all my mods were updated, but apparently they weren't, because my being able to change the upper cabinets was completely glitched out. I couldn't change them to anything different, and I don't know what mod it was. It was probably Tool, but I ended up getting that fixed, coming back in and getting the kitchen done. Now the living room space, I had a hard time in, because there's just not a lot of room, and I was worried about the front door being blocked, but I did playtest this after everything was said and done, and it all functions, so didn't have to worry about that. I couldn't find a space in this house for a computer. I know when it comes to the Sims, having a computer is like a lifeline. You can get jobs and buy things, and basically everything's just like real life. Everything's on the internet nowadays, but I managed to get a TV in there and make it affordable at the same time, so hey, I consider that a win. It wouldn't take very long to earn up some, and the master bedroom's big enough to have a small office in there if you wanted to put one in there. I'm sure you could even choose to put one in the kids' room if you really wanted to. Now, since I've last played this game, they've put in... I think the last thing they put in was obviously the horse expansion pack, which I own, but I have not touched. And they also did a swatch update, which is really nice. I actually use one of the new... I think I used several of the new tile swatches. I know I used several of the fence options that they have now. If anything, I think that's one of the things this game is lacking the most of, is just swatches that match, especially when you're trying to get all the wood swatches to actually match. It's pretty much impossible at this moment in time, but it's a huge improvement to have a lot of those tiles and the floor tiles and all of that had one swatch. So yeah, this one here, pretty much everything aside from that very first swatch is brand new, and a lot of the base game tiles got that upgrade. And the best thing is they were all colored to match, so if you want them to match, there you have it now. So I would like more updates that are just that, but since I've been playing, and it's been months since I actually hopped into this game and played it, but they've really improved that, in all honesty. Now I'm a bit of a weirdo, and if I was an interior designer, bathrooms are my favorite thing to design. I know a lot of people, bathrooms in this game are like afterthoughts, but I don't know, there's something satisfying about it. I guess it's because in real life, the bathroom's just like a cozy place for me. I like taking showers and I like getting ready, so I like a good bathroom. I'd have to have a good one if I haven't bought a home yet, but I'm definitely picky about how my bathroom and kitchen look. Base game dressers are severely lacking. I really wish they had a smaller version of the dresser that's kind of raggedy, but they don't. They just have that wide one. I wish they had like a taller, skinnier one. And since that corner looked so empty, I just filled it with posters. I don't know about you, but when I was a kid, I had so many posters. I feel like that room could be used either as a child's or a teen room, or it would work either way, however you wanted to set it up. I did notice, I tried to put the private journal in there, but apparently that's from Parenthood. Don't quote me on that, I don't really know. But I was like, crap, I'm trying to leave this base game, and unfortunately, the private journal is not base game, much to my surprise. So one of the mods I have is Better Build and Buy. I think it's by Twisted Mexi, and it's supposed to have the free landscaping, but apparently I did not have it on, so I just had to waste money and buy all the landscaping like a non-cheater. So here I am doing that. Unfortunately, in this game, landscaping will add up very quickly, so I didn't really get to add as much as I wanted, but it looks okay by the end of it. It's not perfect. It's not how I wanted it, but it's not just empty either, which is what I was afraid of when I noticed that, because I was like, oh crap, I gotta leave my game again and come back to this. But thankfully I was able to get down enough with the addition of the terrain paint to look alright. I feel like looking back, I should have just made the windows white, but I don't know. I kind of like that all natural wood look for windows, so I just stuck with it. Sometimes it's fun to just try new things and branch out, but we're almost done here. We're going to add some one of those Spaldings, and that's about it. I do end up adding a light in the front porch, and this is on my gallery if you want to download it. It's a little over 20,000, 2-bedroom, 1 bath. So it's in Willowcreek, and it's entirely base game. Here's a nice little screenshot of it after the fact. I definitely would have liked to add more landscaping to it, and probably curtains, but I didn't want to go too much over the 20K. I know that this is probably better for like a couple starting out, or even a couple with their kid if they wanted to move in, or if you made an entire family. But it's completely tested. I brought in a sim and tested everything out, so it should all be functioning. I'll probably do more of these just to get back into the swing of building in the Sims, and I'd like to post more Sims builds if I can, just to have a little bit of a break from Planet Zoo. But I am working on what I'm going to do with that next, so that's about it. This was a really quick one, just to put something out today. If you enjoyed it and you want to see more Sims builds or Planet Zoo builds or any other kind of builds, go ahead and like and subscribe this channel, and I hope you have a wonderful day. See you next time.